Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the German tier 10 free XP tank, heavy tank, the VK7201K. Now it's a tank you can get on the premium tech tree for 450,000 free XP, and it's a tank that I thoroughly enjoy. It's not a great tank by any means, but it's just one that I enjoy because, I mean, it's the main reason is it's got a big gun, and I love the big gun, right? It's the same gun that's on the E100, but it's on the Panzer 7 chassis. It's pretty much the tech tree Panzer 7, but it's got the E100 gun, and that makes it better for me. I don't really enjoy the Panzer 7, but I enjoy this tank. Why do I enjoy this tank more than the E100, for example, that's got the same gun? Because I feel like the armour works far more often on this tank than it does on the E100. The E100 tends to get buttered up. This tank tends to bounce quite a lot. It does have its weak spots, like there's a shot that you can take just above the gun mantlet on the left hand side if it's facing you. You can actually pen it there because it's like 150mm. It's a really thin part of armour randomly. You've also got the cheeks on the side of the Panzer 7 and the VK7201K. There's a little triangle area if you shoot closest to the hull on the little outy, sticky outy bit, so you can pen if you've got about 240 pen. But they can be quite awkward at times to pen if they're sitting straight onto you. You need about 270 to go through the lower plate, somewhere around that, 260, 270. Generally, especially if you angle up, and that means that the armour can be quite effective. Now obviously the gun has 246 pen on its AP and 340 on its heat rounds, which is exactly what we've loaded right here, because we wanted to slam shells right through the face of the E100, because we can only do that with the premium. So we're on this map, which is El Haluf, and we are just going to try and side scrape off of this heavy tank corner. We get a nice shot straight through the side of the T95E6. The E100 pokes out, which is what I was expecting him to do, and he misses his shot. I'm just wanting this guy to poke out and give me his turret and try and shoot me, because the heat rounds on this thing, same as they are on the E100, are filthily juicy, and that means that you can just destroy their front of turret, which is where the E100 comes into a problem for me, because I can do that to him, but he will struggle to do that to me if I angle up. Now, like I say, you can pen the gun mantlet, but with the heat's a bit of a problem, because the gun mantlet is spaced armour, which obviously heat has a bit of an issue with. Now, we get lucky there that the E4 misses us, but we get a shot straight through his lower plate, and we're just doing our best to keep ourselves healthy here and try and just keep this gun working over. We're waiting for the reload to pop in, and then we're finally pulling round to get shots. Now, unfortunately, the Foch has the big gun. The Foch 155 slammed a big shell through us, but we shut him down. We're up to 1,111 assistance and 3.2k damage, which is a nice amount. That's 4.3k combined, which is nice. And that's the one thing I forgot to mention, is if you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this is the actual third Mark of Excellence video for the tank. So we've got the games that lead up to and achieve the third Mark of Excellence. Now, the E100 is firing AP, which means he's going to struggle with our lower plate. The Rheinmetall Panzerwagen firing heats managed to fire through. I think he hit our cupola there, which is unfortunate. We get a shot right through the turret front of the E100 there with the heat. We switch back to the AP now, and we're just going to pull forward. We're still waiting for the reload, and I don't want to pull straight round while I'm still reloading, because if I get spotted and then I manage to spot what is looking at me, I'm not going to get the chance to fire. And I'm thinking there's possibly a TD or something up there. That was filthy. That was pure filth. The Rheinmetall Panzerwagen got spotted up, and he just sat still, so it was like, oh, you know what, we're just going to pop off a shot on the move, you know, 6.0 accuracy and all that, and yeah, it flew absolutely straight in. It flew true. Penned the Panzerwagen. We've got 3.6k spotting now. We got a load of spotting for spotting things at the back. We're up to 7.6k combined, which is a good amount for the third Mark of Excellence. And I think that actually this game, and another shot through the camp panzer there, this game was what set me off in thinking I need to 3-mark this tank, because I think we finished at about 93% odd in this one. And it was like, oh, I'm actually quite close. I need to get going with it. But we are having a massive game. for the tank. And this Udez gets spotted up. We get a nice shot through the back of him, 5.4k damage, and there's just him left. And I'm looking at this going, yeah, I'm probably not going to get another shot into this guy. A lot of my team are around him. Swindle's over there. I'm in a big, slow, fat German heavy. I'm not getting to that guy. And you can see me wiggling my gun going, I'm not getting there. So Swindle rams him because that's just what you do, right? At the end of the game, you know he's going to die. Ram him to get as much as you can. And he gets shut down by the Tusk. So we finish that game with a victory. We come top. 2 kills, 5.4k damage. 3.6k assist. Ace tanker. Sniper medal. And yeah, it was 93.2. 1566 base XP. And that is 9k combined, which is a big amount. Which is probably why I ended up so high up, or pushing it up quite high, and me thinking, yeah, you know what, I should probably do this. So now we're on to the second match, and in the second match we're on Sunset Coast, and I'm thinking, where am I going to go? Right, I think, you know what, I'm going to go probably, and it's pretty much the way, it's when these spawns are the ones that I get, I always tend to go to the same spot, which is E6-5, which is where you'd normally brawl if it was the better map airfield. And a lot of people do go there to brawl. So I do fancy going there myself. Now in terms of equipment on the VK, I actually do run vert stabs on this tank. So I run rammer, vert stabs and optics. I thought I'd mention that because the gun handling on the E100 and the VK7201K aren't good enough to warrant dropping the vert stabs at any point. There's a lot of tanks, obviously. If you got my general rule nowadays with 6.0 accuracy is that if a tank has 3.35 accuracy or below, I'm more likely to drop vert stabs than I am keep them, because once you get below the 0.35 mark and you've got all the gun perks and stuff on, you will drop the accuracy of the guns down to like 0.24, and that's ridiculously accurate enough. You don't need the help of the vert stabs to make that even better, unless it's a tank that has like dreadful gun dispersion. So basically when it's on the move, the bloom is absolutely massive. So we're going to drive around this corner, and this IS-4 is driven into the perfect place for me to get a shot in. We ricochet off his lower plate with AP, which is why we're loading the heat, because we're not going to pen that IS-4 at all from the front with AP. We need the heat. And since we're above him, we're in the perfect place to slam these shells in. He's in a really kind of awkward spot. You can see me trying to feather the target, and we slam the shot straight through his upper plate. Because that's the sad thing about the IS-4, really, is that the upper plate and the lower plate, like the lower plate actually at times is way better than the upper plate is, and it's good against standard rounds, but as soon as people press A, the whole front becomes so easy to pen, it's unbelievable, and that just makes the IS-4 kind of sad at times. But obviously it does have incredible spaced armor as well, which means the strength of the tank is side scraping, so if you get it in that position, trust me, the IS-4 can be a beast. But when it's out in the open like that, and I've pressed A and got the heat in, and just destroyed that thing's upper plate and lower plate. You literally can only pen the lower plate with this VK, for instance, when it's on a flat, and we are not on that. So we try and get a shot through the turret of the T-54E1, and unfortunately he ends up penning us, which is really unfortunate. And we're just going to keep pulling back and waiting for our reload to go in before we pull forward again. We get the shot straight through the lower plate of the IS-4. Unfortunately, the IS-4 pens us again and puts us down to 1300 health, which is really unfortunate. He kept just finding our side there. Now we've got the reload in, I wanted to get a shot into this T95E6, but the T54 is happily sitting in front of it. It's like, thank you very much, sir. I'll happily take the damage. 2.5k damage now. The 50 TP is in the back of my mind every time. He's got a big gun. He's got, 560 alpha. I don't want to take that hit. In fact, we did take that hit. We get another shot straight through the side of the T95E6. We're up to 3.2k damage now. Now, to 3-mark this, it was about 4.3k, 4.4k needed to do it at the time. And I knew that probably 2 more shots and I will be gaining probably like 0.2, 0.3, I'm not losing. And at that point, when you're 3-marking, obviously not losing is the key. When you get to a position where you're just not losing percentage points, that's the best bit. So I'm trying to pull back here. The 50B obviously wants to go forward, and I just like, there's an E4 in front of me. And there's so many tanks, I don't want to be here. He was very belligerent in the fact that he didn't want to move back, so I sort of manoeuvred myself round to get back round him. Now that could have actually cost me a bit of health there, because the Leopard 1 came up, so did the T-54, so I could have quite easily lost a bit of health, but we get lucky we don't. T-54E1 comes up and slaps us right through the front, and I'm pretty sure that was him firing through my gun mantlet, and that's that gun mantlet weak spot that I'm on about, because that's probably the only place that that guy could have actually penned us. And you've seen the armor effect in this game as well, that the armor has held up pretty damn decently, like bouncing that E4. We've bounced nearly 4k damage, and this is something that, in this position, especially in the position I was in, if I was in the E100, which is obviously the equivalent we go for, that was a bombardiers. My goodness me. Anyway, if I was in that position with an E100 that I was in, I would have lost so much more health, and I wouldn't have had anywhere near that health. Now this is where the heat is hurting me, because I've got the heat in. I shot the E50 in the side. If I had AP in, I'd have penned and tracked him. But heat absorbed by the spaced armour, and the E50 got away with his life there. We fired the heat straight through his turret front, because E50s and E50Ms with their terrible, terrible turret armour. And we get detected here, and I'm thinking, is there something behind me there that was coming round? No, I think it's just the E50 that's catching glimpses of me. And we're in a pretty perilous position at the minute, because it's 5-7, so they're actually winning. And there we go, the T-54E1 has flanked us, and I'm thinking, well, we're just not in a good position, right? This is a position where we could lose quite easily. The 50B is going after the T-54E1. There's a light tank come up behind us. He's attacked our TD, and I've decided, you know what, we're not standing for that. We are going to attack this T-54E1 and 50 TP in front of us, because we want to get rid of the guns that are in front. The TD deals with the light tank behind us. The 50B managed to deal with the T-54E1, I believe, but the artillery shut him down. There's now just the 50 TP left in front of us, and we just want to get rid of this guy. So we're loading the HE because, well, you don't need to pen them when you fire HE. And we shut down the 50 TP. So now there's just the medium and the artillery. I say, he comes up behind us. He actually flanked round the E50M, and I'm quite surprised about it. I think I was surprised at the time as the fact that he actually managed to get away from us, get all the way round without even getting spotted by me or the TDs. But he actually ended up getting shut down by the E4 that is in our base, and that just leaves artillery left. So we're just going to go chase after the artillery and hope that we can get the kill, because killing the piggy is always the best thing. But we've got a nice amount of damage and assist. At one point in this game, it looked like we were losing this game, right? But we managed to claw it back, and we managed 5.5k damage with 1100 assistance. So that's like 6.6k combined. So when we're in the 93-94% region, that's like, I'm looking at this game going, well, this isn't going to be the third mark. It's not going to be enough for that. But it's going to be enough to push us up, so that probably one more game in that region and we'll have it. Now I am hoping that the artillery will be behind this ridgeline in front of us on the 1 line. I'm hoping he's not in the corner at K1 or at like C1, so that I can just get the damage and get the kill and end this game quickly. We end up spotting the GC, we aim, we slap the shot in, and we get the kill. So we end up 7.2k combined, which is nice. That should put us very close. We get the victory, come top on the team. 6.1k damage, 4 kills, 1100 assists, nearly 5k blocked, ace tanker, steel wall, high caliber, sniper, 94.7, which puts us within 0.3. So I know that if I have another game that's about 5k damage, I'm probably going to do enough. And enough is all you need at times. So we're on mines for the third game and the final game of this video. And we've got the wonky, terrible spawns that Mines has. This is the worst spawns that this map could ever have. I don't want this in the game, this map, with these spawns. Obviously, this is before they reduced the tier restrictions for tier 8, 9, and 10 for this, because it was literally just before they released the new maps like Fred Bang and all that. But this map still exists in this form at tier 7 and 8, I believe, with these spawns. These spawns are horrible, because their team gets all of the high ground. It's a very rare occasion when our teams wins this, pretty much, because they get the full control of the whole map, really. We get penned in on this corner, people get preoccupied on the corner where I am right now. Like, this is probably the worst place I could be. And I don't know what I was doing there. That was risky, driving up in front of a Jagdpanzer trying to get a shot. But we managed to pull back and get the gun under pressure to shoot him. But yeah, you see, they've got full reign of the hill. Anyone that tries to go to the hill dies, like what's happened to our 907 and T100 LT. They get across the 8-9 line before we really get any shots. The artillery has free reign. This is just a terrible swarm variant for this map. Really, the only true option that we have to fight them is to go up the 2-3 line and possibly loop round. That's really the only time I've ever really won this map. But we start this game decently. We've got 1500 damage, 305 assistance. We probably need at 94.7. We still need probably another 3k damage, probably 3.5k damage, and we've got it. And that is, you know, about 4 to 5 shots of damage. That's all we need for the third mark. So we've spotted these medium tanks, that have ploughed round. We get the shot straight through the lower plate of the Kampfpanzer, finish him off, and we're just going to plough forward and hopefully get some shots into these guys. Because that position that we were attacking there was impossible. That was the impossible position. Because those guys on the hill had free reign at shots at us, and we didn't want that. Now we get a nice shot through the M46 pattern there. I don't actually think we penned him. I think we literally tracked him, but we tracked him, which meant we got quite a bit of assistance. We get a big shot through us from the Griller, unfortunately. Then the 268 version 5, which is spotted for the first time as we plough around the corners, Penzers. Oh, that was a terrible thing to happen for us. We're on 4k combined right now, and I know that another 1,000 damage will probably be enough, but the position we're in now, I'm just like, this is not looking good, because the 268 version 5, right, can pen us so easily with this 303 pen. The Griller 15, if he's firing heat, or no, he doesn't even need heat that often, can still pen us and kill us and catch us in the right situation. Now, obviously, this is a situation where the Griller is less than a 50-50 to kill us. He's got 750 alpha, we've got 742 hit points. And obviously, damage roll changes mean that his 750 is not good enough to kill us most of the time when we've got 742. So it's only really the 268 version 5 that could have killed us, but he's been shut down by our 268 version 5, and I'm thinking, you know what, I need spotting. Never mind that I got tracking, I'm hoping that I can plough forward, spot whatever's back here with this Griller, and I'll get a lot of spotting for it, and I'll get a lot of damage. Now we've spotted the Griller up, so we're going to try and get a shot into him, because he is sitting still. We get a nice shot into the top of him, which is exactly what we want. We bounce the medium tank on our left, and we're in a really awkward position, because we've got shots. You know, the tanks in front of us have got shots at us from everywhere. We're looking for a shot at the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. We can't quite do it. We get a nice shot again through the Griller, and it's like, thank you very much, Mr. Griller. He shoots us, puts us on one hit point, one singular hit point, one hit point and a dream. And we're going to pull out now and see if we can get a shot into this Panzerwagen, because I know one more shot will do it. And we're just trying to get the shooting position. We get the shot into him. I think we penned him there as we went down. We did. So we finished that game with 4.8k damage, 1750 assistance, 95.25%, and that was the third mark of excellence. That shot into the Panzerwagen was probably the one that finished it off for us. But maybe not, we might have increased enough anyway. But it was just that moment of, yes, we penned it, we got it, and we finished with the third mark of excellence. So that is the third mark of excellence for a very fun tank. As always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!